Yo, what up guys, B5D here, and this is the champion guide or champion spotlight for Steelskull, a spirit affinity champion who has been lost and forgotten in Raid Shadow Legends. Why do I say he's lost and forgotten? It's because nobody uses this champion in the game anymore for every content that they play. Most probably because they have better options, better champions that can do his job or his role in Raid better. But in this video, I'm going to be showing you two ways I use this champion, both for the early game and for the late end game in my account. Yes, I'll be showing you two different builds for Steelskull where you can use him in the clan boss or even in faction wars and all that. So before we get into this champion, in case you're new to Raid, this champion is best known for this is increased defense skill right here. That is one of the ways you can use this champion as a champion who brings your entire team a 60% increased defense, which is awesome. So if you have champions in the account or your team who have 2k defense, 1.5 defense, it can just boost their defense by an extra 60%, which is awesome. It's a buff that he places on them, and it's a 2-turn cooldown. No, it's on a 4-turn cooldown when booked. It lasts for 2 turns. That's what I mean. It also heals all allies by 20% of their max HP, not by his max HP. So that's a downer right there. So, but the main thing, that is what he brings to your team most of the time. The next thing he brings to your team is a poison. Yes, 5% poison right there, and it's the bigger version of the poison, and it has a 10% chance to land. When you book it up, it can go up to 35% chance right there to land this poison. That's a good chance of landing a poison, and most times this is A1 will land the poison. So it hits 2 times, so it has a 10% chance of landing it. It's not per hit, but at least it works. The third skill, which is not that crucial or not that important except you want him for the purpose of a healer, is to heal and remove all debuffs from a target ally. This is a problem right here. This skill needs to be buffed to make him better. What I'm saying is he can only heal one person. He can only cleanse the debuff from one person on your team. He doesn't do it for the entire team. So if everybody is hasn't decreased defense, decreased attack, he can only do it for one person, cleanse all their debuff, and also heals them by 40%. So it's a good one when somebody is almost going down, he just gives them that heal. But in most teams, you need a healer who can do AoE heal or even a bigger heal right there. But it works. This heal works. If you need him for this healer role, it works. For a champion whose damage is based on attack, this champion does not hit. What I'm saying he does not hit is because this is A1 is the only skill he has that actually does damage. His A2 right there does not hit. His A3 does not hit. So this is not a champion you want to build for damage. This is not a champion you want for crit damage or crit rate. No, because the only time he actually hits the enemies is with the A1. So the other times he's just doing his A2 and A3. So he is a support champion. He's there for support with his 2. He doesn't even have an aura. I mean a passive. He doesn't bring a passive, but his aura right there is increased defense in faction war by 27%. So you want this champion in the leader role in faction wars. You don't want him in the leader slot in other areas where I'm gonna be showing him. For his blessings, which is kind of new to Raid, I think that since he's gonna be in most teams that you'll be using for end game content and talking about the clan boss fights that actually lost 1 turn, or even the faction war teams, the best one that I think will be good for him is cruelty, because it ignores defense, right? Decreases their defense. So that's one I think will be good for this champion that you can actually put on him. You can also select Phantom Touch if you want to bonus damage, but I feel like cruelty is the best one. Commanding presence if nobody else in the team is already using this aura on, so that's one. But I think cruelty is the one for him right there. I don't see anyone going from miracle. No. Cruelty right there. For masteries on this champion, there are 2 masteries I'm going to be showing you right now. This is my old masteries. I did not reset it. So this one looked for more of a healer role. This mastery is looking at this champion as a healer role, where he's doing heal, because that's when you go towards this area, right? Because this one boosts your HP. This one increases the value of heals this champion casts. So this is as a healer role. That's why I went this way. I also selected this last one to increase the chances of him placing that poison on this A1, right? You know, it's 35% when you book it, but if you add this one, you have an extra 5% of placing that poison on the A1. It's a good one to select on him. Now I'm going to be showing you the other masteries from the other account, but we'll talk about the artifact set first before we talk about that one. So how did I build this champion? We'll talk about his skills, talk about his masteries. For artifacts that gave him the stats that I needed, This is not a lifesteal set, so I didn't build this champion. This is the end game build. I didn't build him for clan boss. For my end game account right here, I no longer need Steelskull for the clan boss. You agree with me that every clan boss champion needs lifesteal. Most Doom Tower, most faction war champions also need lifesteal. But if you do not have enough lifesteal to give them the stats they want, most faction war champions will take stun set, they will take immortal, they'll also take relentless sets. So those sets are kind of important for faction wars. That is what this champion is built for the end game. So faction war builds also work in Doom Tower also, because they are actually similar. The stats just have to go a little bit higher by maybe 100. So this champion is working for me in 2 places right now, faction war and Doom Tower. That's why I built him for like this. That's how you're seeing this build. Nothing special about this build, just a relentless set that I'm not currently using. You don't want to go and take Seal the Drake's relentless set and put on a champion like this. No, no, no. This is a spare relentless set because I have a lot of relentless sets on the account. So I just gave in some that I'm not currently using on any champion. Now, guess what? If I have a new champion that needs relentless set, his relentless set will be stolen to that champion. So he's not high priority on my account. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'll show you the total stat right now and see what I was able to get with this spare relentless set. 50k HP, 3-5 defense is standard, and no crit rate, not more crit damage. But check out that resist. Yes, I purposely looked for resist on this champion, because if you're going to be using this champion for the Doom Tower, or you're going to be using him for faction wars, the boss on faction wars 300 resistance, they will not be able to land any debuffs on you. So that's what I put on him right now, 322 resistance. So he does not get debuffed on that faction war boss, especially 21. So that's something I built him for. Accuracy to land that is A1. You don't need accuracy on this champion if you don't care about that A1. Don't get me wrong about that. So but if you want him to do a lot of damage with that A1 from the poisons, at least build accuracy on him is totally optional. But the main thing is therefore is that increased defense, number 1. That's the first priority, so your champions don't go down easily. And also that heal he does, and the cleanse on one champion. So that's my total stats. Of course, my faction guardians and my masteries, my great hall does have a lot of things to do with these stats. If you can't get up to these stats, don't worry about it. 2k defense is fine. 30k HP is fine on this champion also. 200 accuracy is also fine for faction war 21 content. All right, that's my total stat for the endgame account. Let me switch over to the noob to pro, the beginner account, so you can see an alternative way of building this champion. Now, this is a lifesteal build. This is the build you need for clan boss. What I mean is most champions, like I said, need lifesteal to survive in the clan boss, except you have a leech or you have a champion to keep you alive, but most of the time you will need a lifesteal. So whenever he hits with that A1, he can proc some war master masteries and keep himself alive. So total stats right there I was able to get on this noob to pro account. This account is only about 70 days, 76 days old. That's why I was not able to hit high stats on this one. So this is more of a realistic build. So for Nightmare Clan Boss, where I'm trying to build this champion for, the speed for the Nightmare Clan Boss I think is what, 170 speed. So I put this champion at 171, and so he can be the last to, yes, he'll be the last to place his increased defense. I don't want him places the increased defense, then everybody takes a turn. I want everybody to take a turn, then he places the increased defense before the boss takes a turn. So they have the increased defense for full 2 turns. That's why I put him at 172. So everybody on my team will be around 173, 174, and so on. When I finally build this champion in a speed tuned method for this account, I will show that in a separate video. But for now, that's what I'm trying to get him to. You see the accuracy right there. I've not fully maxed out his banner, but I'll be able to get up to 170 to 180 accuracy, which is enough accuracy to land my debuffs for the Nightmare Clan Boss. 170 accuracy right there is what I need for Nightmare. Now if you go up to Ultra Nightmare, you need 220 accuracy or even 3-5 defense. So for Nightmare, I need 3k defense, and I'll be able to hit that mark right there. It's still low stats, but as time goes, my Great Hall and other things will help me boost these stats right now. So Steelskull is helping my team with increased defense and adding more poisons, so that Frozen Banshee is not the only one now placing poison. He can also add poisons to the team. If you can have counter-attack accessories like this on this champion, it will help him a great deal to land his poison debuffs whenever he counter-attacks. So if you head over to the Noob to Pro, you see that I was able to get him a different set of masteries. Why did I go this route? Because I have enough accuracy on this champion. I don't need him for the heals. I do have lifesteal on this account. So here that I don't need him as a healer for my team, I built him with a defense mastery, yes, and I was able to select all this counter attack mastery, which allow him to do more of his A1. If you go towards this support 3, you can get more accuracy if you don't have a banner. But I have a banner and I have enough accuracy in my substat. That's why I went towards counter attack accessory. Counter attack master in the defense 3 right there. So always for a champion like this, we're going to be using him against bosses. You need him in War Master. That's very, very important. All right. We've talked about Steelskull a lot, but before I move on to other content, what other sets might you want to use on him besides Lifesteal, besides Relentless, besides Immortal? I think these are the 3 sets that are good for this champion. Now, some people might argue that these other sets that resets the cooldown or reduces the cooldown of his skills. I'm talking about Toxic set might be good for him for that A1 when he's landing it, but a lot of newer players do not have enough Toxic set. Reflex set is also one that might be good for him, so his skills might be more available to be used and keep your team alive longer. So that's one that is maybe good to consider. But a lot of people do not have this. Now, if you do have a Lich in your team, Stalwart set is another one that most champions need, especially tanks, to keep them alive. It just reduces 30% of the damage that is incoming from the clan boss, especially the clan boss. And you can heal up from Lich or from your own skills. All right, we've talked about him a lot. Let's go back to main content now to show you some Steelskull in action. The first place I want to be showing you this champion, except of course, is this dragon. The dragon is the easiest piece of content for me to show you how he performs in battle. That's why I always use that one as my way of testing champions when I build them, so we don't take too long in the video. So if I head over to Dragon 20, I've already put a team together that can maybe help make this run possible. And I think this is the clan boss team, right? I think the dragon team is right above there. Yes, so I did put this team together, made up of defense, a lot of defense with one poisoner right there, and Steelskull is just there to be a supporting champion also. Oh, okay, I think Ultimate Death Knight also does heal, but I wanted one champion to do the healing, which is Steelskull. Ultimate Death Knight can also help with that also. Anyways, so let's just do just one run. I might not even run it all the way to the end. I want to see how he supports the waves, especially, and when we get to the boss, I want to see what he does against the boss also. Poisons has been placed. Razin. Increased defense right there. With this increased defense he has placed on these defensive based champions, they will hit harder. So you agree with me that Razin's damage is based on defense. Hits. So this increases Razin damage by a whole lot. So if you do not have a champion that damage is based on defense, of course they will not benefit from damaging from defense. They will benefit from staying alive from their defense. So my Razin now is the damage dealer in this entire team. That's why I brought in a leader slot right there to land more defense from Ultimate Death Knight. More poisons has been placed. So I didn't want to run an all what do you call it now, all champions who are made up of legendaries. I wanted to do a more realistic one. Venomage of course can be replaced with Frozen Banshee, because we just need a poisoner who can place poisons when we get to the dragon boss. But the way Razin is hitting from his physical hit, he might be able to take down the boss by himself without a poisoner involved. Decrease attack has been placed. More poisons. Increased defense, I'm waiting for it. Razin doesn't hit that hard when increased defense is not there. That's it. Woo, 70k hit right there. I'm telling you, when your defensive based champions have increased defense on them, they do so much damage. And we're onto the boss. Even the A1 is hitting really, really hard. Let's see how the boss can handle this team. Decrease defense and weaken has been placed. You see, because I didn't book this champion with crit rate, even the A1s on Steelskull is not doing any damage on the boss. 3k hits right there. So Steelskull is not the champion you want to build for damage. Increase defense. Let's see how much we hit for now. 45k. Woo, 108k right there. I know this is not, this video is not about other champions, but hey, Steelskull is the one facilitating their damage right now. When the boss put poison on everybody, you can see that Steelskull got no poison on her. Him, I mean. I keep saying Steelskull is a lady, but it's a guy. He got no poison on him because of the amount of resist this champion currently has. 322 resistance. That means no poison, even no decrease attack can be placed on this champion with this build that I have. Now the faction wars, Skinwalker faction wars is not open today, so I cannot show that on. But if you want to take a look at how what's his name now, Steelskull performs in the faction wars, I have a faction guide right there to show you all the faction war bosses I built and beat, including Skinwalkers that I use this champion on. All right, we were successful in taking down this team, and we're gonna be selling that right now. So that's my run for the dragon. I'm not going to be showing you the run for clan boss, but I'll show you that if I head over to the clan boss and just put a team together, it will look something similar like this, exactly like this, but it will involve somebody else. Let me show you what you can probably run with your clan boss team for Steelskull, that is. If I head over to Nightmare is the place you want to use this champion. I'm hoping by the time you get to Ultra Nightmare, you have better champions who can do better than Steelskull. But if you do not have, by the time, you can still use Steelskull on that. But what I'm saying is I don't usually see this champion being used in Ultra Nightmare by endgame players. By the time you play raid for that long, you do have better options. So right now I did put a counter attack. Yes, that's another thing that can make Steelskull land more poison. A counter attack champion like this, and the team will look similar, something like this. So increase defense, rising for decrease defense and weaken, and then counter attack, poisons. If you do a proper speed tuning of your team, Steelskull can be the champion that always do a cleanse on maybe Skull Crusher when he gets that stun. But you have to tune it properly using Deadwood Jedi's calculator, of course. Alright, I'll not be running this one because I'm not going to spend my key on this boss, and this team is not tuned properly. So that's my champion guide for Steelskull. I think I've shown the artifacts, the masteries. I did a test run for dragon to show you how this champion works, and then the speeds, the estimated speeds you might need on this champion. 170 for Nightmare and almost 190 if you're doing for Ultra Nightmare clan boss. Remember, defense is what you need on Steelskull. Don't try to build attack on this champion at all. It's not a damage dealer, and faction war is the place I use this champion for the end game. But for my new Noob to Pro series right there, I'll be using this champion for my clan boss Nightmare team right there. That's what I'm building this champion for. So I wanted to dust out a old champion that everybody seemed to be forgotten about and talk about this champion today, and hopefully it helps you guys. If you're doing Doom Tower secret rooms, this champion also helps me there also. All right, it's time for you to hit that like if this video helps you. If you want to see a champion guide about another champion that everybody seems to have been forgotten about, let me know in the comments and I'll be able to get to it as soon as possible. Hit that subscribe button also if you've not done so already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.